glad you're here. My name is Kelsey Derringer, and I'm going to be your teacher today at CodeJoy. We are an online education company that teaches students coding and robotics and engineering. You can find out more about us on our website, but as always, I am not here by myself. I am joined by our director and producer, Matt the Robot. Hi, Matt.
Hey, Kelsey. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Matt?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to monitor the chat to see who has questions and comments.
That's right. So whether you are here with us on Zoom or if you are tuning in live on Facebook or YouTube, you can leave comments for us there. Questions, we'll have certain times when we will ask you things, and the chat is a great place to participate. But there are other ways to participate too. If you're with us here on Zoom, we're going to get you guys coding in just a little bit, and we'll teach you how to do that. But I'm really excited for you guys to join us today for Robot Haunted House. I have my very good robot friend, Elby, on site at the haunted house. Elby, how are things looking there at the haunted house? All right, sounds great. He says it's really busy. People are having a good time. All right, Elby, are you ready to go in? You're not? That's kind of a problem because we told everybody we'd go into the robot haunted house. What's up, buddy? Huh? I can't hear. Oh, I hear you. I hear you. He says he's a little scared to go inside because he doesn't know what's going to be in there, and he doesn't really like not knowing things. And listen, man, I understand that. Hey, I'll tell you what. Why don't we take a look at some of the things we're going to see inside the haunted house, and maybe then they'll be a little bit less scary. Do you want to try that? Great. Okay, wonderful. Well, Elby, I'm going to come get you. You stay right there, and then we'll take a look at some things. Here I come. All right. Here we go. All right. Hey there, buddy. Are you ready to take a look at some things inside the haunted house? Yes. All right. Fantastic. So everybody, we're going to take a look at 3 things inside our haunted house. We're going to look at a ghost. We're going to look at a very creepy spider and a super creepy portrait. And what we're going to do is we're going to take those things out of the haunted house so that you can take a closer look at them. We're going to understand how they work, and you are going to get to recode them. All right. So we're going to start with the ghost from the haunted house. I'm going to go grab it. But while I do, Matt has a question for you that you can answer in the chat.
That's right, everyone. So I wanted to see who here has been to a haunted house. And if you've been to a haunted house, did you like it? I see that Aviva's been to a haunted house. Aviva, did you like the haunted house?
Yeah, my friends do one every year. I've always loved it.
That is so cool, Aviva.
There we go. You know, I have been to a haunted house too, and I'm a little bit more like Elby. Haunted houses kind of scare me. So I'm really glad that we're going to take a look at what's going on inside this haunted house. So our first thing, if we take a look at it from the top and we learn how it works, this is our scary ghost. So here's this wall, this like ceiling beam kind of, and this over here, this is a distance sensor. And so when I bring my hand close to the distance sensor, that's what makes the ghost pop out from behind it. I can turn it around so you can see it from the back as well. There we go. So you can see it's really just a motor with a popsicle stick on it, and then a ghost on the popsicle stick. Pretty easy, right? So it's not magic, it's coding. It's robotics. So that's what we want you guys to help us with. So what we're going to do right now in the chat, we're going to share a link with you in the Zoom chat. And if you are with us on Facebook or YouTube, Sienna may be able to post that on Facebook. We're not sure. Otherwise, we're going to do this class a few more times this week. If you want to join us, I'll tell you how later. So open up that link that we just sent you in the chat, and it should look something like this. there's a link to MakeCode, which is a programming language. So to open it up and look inside at the code, you'll click this button that says Edit Code, or it's up here in the right corner, it says Edit, and that will open up MakeCode for you. So if you've never used MakeCode, let me tell you what you're looking at. This is a little simulator that is a microbit, but we're not going to use that. So if you want, you can hit the gray arrow, make that go away, give yourself a little bit more room. Here are a bunch of different blocks, but we won't really need those because we have given you the blocks that you'll need. So let's zoom in and look at this one that says forever. All right, so you might notice on here this word hummingbird coming up over and over again. Let me tell you why that word keeps coming up. We are using a tool called a hummingbird. So we're using a microbit, looks like this. And then we plug our microbit into a hummingbird, which makes it really easy to attach lights and motors and sensors and program them really easily on MakeCode. So if I bring my ghost back, you can see there's the hummingbird, and we've got a motor plugged in here, and we've got a sensor plugged in here, right? So that's why you see that word hummingbird all over the place. So here's our code, and let's look and see what this code is saying. Let's try to understand it a little bit, and then I'll tell you which numbers we want you to change, all right? So it says, if the hummingbird distance sensor measures less than 30, and that's in centimeters. So that's saying, here's my distance sensor. When I get less than 30 centimeters away from it, that's when the ghost moves. Did you see? When I'm farther away, it doesn't move. When I'm closer, it does. So that's what that means. Don't change that part of the code. Leave that part alone. We've made sure that it works with our haunted house. So don't change the distance sensor or that number 30. Don't change that. But what we do want you to change is this number, the thing that says hummingbird position servo. A servo is a motor. And so the way that our motor works, if I turn this around, I can show you. The way that our motor works is it works kind of like a protractor. So here's a protractor with 0 on one side and 180 degrees on the other. And our code is telling our motor to stay at 0 degrees until we trigger the distance sensor, and then it goes to 90 degrees, right? So if we put those right next to each other, you can see that it's going to stay at 0 down here. The hummingbird position servo is going to stay at 0 until we trigger the distance sensor. Then the motor goes to 90, and then it stays there. We want you to play with those numbers. So instead of 90 and 0 on here, put some different numbers in there. Put something between 0 and 180. You could make it swing all the way across by putting 180 up here. You could put a different number in there, whatever you want to put. Play with those numbers a little bit. And when you've changed those numbers, share your code back with us. Here's how. To share your code, watch this part real carefully. You're going to go up here to these 3 little dots that say share, click on them, give your project a title like ghost, because we just made the ghost code, publish it, and then copy that link and paste it back in the chat. So when you've changed your code, I'll show that part one more time, hit share, give it a title, publish, copy, paste, really easy. When you've got that, when you've changed something about the code, send it back to us here on Zoom, or send it back to us if you're with us on Facebook. Looks like we've got a couple people joining us from Facebook too. Who do we have, Matt? Who's with us?
Well, I want to give a very special hello to AJ, who's joining us from Tucson, Arizona. Hello, AJ.
Hey, AJ, welcome. See if you can code with us. And for those of us here on Zoom, try that out. Open that link that we sent you and see if you can change something and send it back. Matt, do we have anybody sending code back?
Yeah, it looks like we've got some code from Kat. So I'm going to go ahead and open up Kat's code.
All right. Looks pretty fancy, Kat. We're going to download yours and put it on our robot. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready. Are you ready, Kat? Yeah, I see your thumb. Awesome. Great. All right. We are going to try to download Kat's code here. Looks like Kenji sent some in as well. Very cool. Let's see. All right. Got it. All right. So Kat, we are going to show you your code in action when we get back to the haunted house. So you have to wait until the very end when we go through the haunted house and then you see your code in action. Are you ready? Should be great. All right. So I'm going to unplug this one. And now I'm going to go grab our very creepy spider and we'll take a look at that one. But while I do that, Matt has another question for you guys, which you can answer him in the chat, or if he calls on you, you can unmute and answer him. All right, here I go.
So I was wondering, what is the spookiest number of legs that an animal could have? The spookiest number of legs that you could possibly imagine for an animal to have. Go ahead and type that in the chat. I've got 80 from Aviva. 80 is pretty scary. 800 from Kat. Wow, that would be scary as well. Pi from Kenji. A very scary number for those of us that aren't very good at geometry.
Wonderful.
Thank you for all your suggestions, everybody.
Those are great suggestions. And if you're with us on Facebook, we want to hear your suggestions too. So here is how this scary feature of our haunted house works. It's still got a distance sensor here. And when I get close to the distance sensor, you'll see that a spider drops down. If I turn it around from behind, you can see how the mechanism works. If I get close to the distance sensor, it turns a motor and it drops down the spider. It's basically a winch mechanism, if you've heard of that mechanism before. And so you can see on the front here, over here, I have labeled what angles you have to work with. So really, there's only two angles that you should probably do. The spider going down is 180 degrees. The spider going up is 0 degrees. So let me show you what that might look like in your code. And this time, we want you to change something else in the code that you're working with. So here's our sample code here. There we are. Here's our sample code here. So I want you guys to change yours so that the first position is 180 and the second one is 0. So that's going to make it go down when the distance sensor triggered and up when the distance sensor is not triggered. But here's the thing we want you to mess with on this one. We didn't talk about this block before, but this blue pause block. Right now it's set to 1,000 milliseconds. There's 1,000 milliseconds in 1 second. So right now, this spider goes down. Let's see how long it's going down for right now. 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. So now this spider is going down. It's currently set for 5,000 milliseconds. But you guys can control it. Do you want this spider? It's going to drop down, and it's going to drop down right on top of you when you go through the haunted house. Do you want it to stay on you for 5 seconds? Do you want it to stay on you for more time? For less time? How long do you want that spider to stay on you? Type that in the pause block right there. And when you do, share it back with us. Let me show you how to share again. So change this pause number to be something else. Click share. Give it a title like spider. Oops. There we go. Typing's hard. Spider. There we go. Click publish, and then copy and paste that back into the chat. All right, so change that pause number. And let's see, we've got some people joining us, some more people to give a shout out to on YouTube. Who else is out there, Matt?
Well, Juan David is out there, and I just want to say that you're great as well, Juan David. Thank you so much for watching.
We are glad you're with us. All right, whoops. So hopefully you have messed with this code a little bit. You've changed this pause block a little bit. So once you've changed it, go ahead and share that back with us here in the chat. And then we'll put your code on our very creepy spider. Oh, I'll go ahead and plug it in so that when we're ready, we can do it. There we go. And if anyone has any questions for us as we're going through, please do let us know. All right. So we're opening up, whose code are we opening up now, Matt?
Looks like we're looking at Kenji's code right now. He was the first to submit one, so let's take a look at Kenji's.
All right. Ooh, fancy. Oops, not that one. That's the original one. All the way on the end there. There we go. Okay. Ooh, so here's Kenji's code. When you're ready, you can download it. See how that goes. All right. Kenji had some pretty interesting code. He added in some more motor movements too. We'll see how that goes. All right. So we've got that downloaded.
All downloaded.
All right, sounds great. I'm gonna go put this back in our haunted house. And Kenji, you'll see this guy in action when we go through the haunted house in just a little bit. But I just wanted to remind people, if you want to do those these activities that we're doing, if you want to do Robot Haunted House with your class, there are lots of opportunities to catch this class this week. We're doing it today, tomorrow, and Thursday, multiple times. So you and your whole class can tune in. You can find out more places to tune in and try this out later this week. All right, Matt, did you have a question for them as I go put this one back?
Yeah, I do. Make sure we can see you. Let's see. Is anybody dressing up this year for Halloween? I know it's kind of a unique Halloween this year, but does anybody have a costume that they're going to be wearing this year? If you are going to be wearing a costume, what are you going to dress up as? Go ahead and let us know in the chat. Aviva, I can see that you're going to wear a costume. What are you going to be today or this weekend? Can you say that one more time?
Seven-tailed fox.
A seven-tailed fox. What a great costume.
Sorry, my my audio was muted. Sorry, I was just talking about the different heads that came through here. We've got Mona Lisa. We've got who I said kind of looks like Mandy Moore a little bit. So Mona Lisa, and when she's triggered, she gets a creepy skeleton head, and then this other head of this lady with snakes in her hair. Does anybody know what that person's name is? If you do, type it in the chat. What's the name of the lady with snakes in her hair? If you know, tell us in the chat. All right, so I'm just going to open up this wall here and we can take a look and see how this works. Here we are. So it's really just a disc back there. And when the distance sensor is triggered, that turns the disc. And Cat got it. Way to go, Cat. The name of the creepy lady with snakes in her hair is Medusa. Nice job, Cat. All right. So that's how this one works. Let's take a look at what the code for this project looks like. All right, I'm going to open up this this example code back here. And so this is kind of starting back from the beginning, but this one, it moves to a few different positions. So this one doesn't just move to one spot like 90 or 180 and then go back. It actually goes to a few different positions. So if I trigger that distance sensor, again, you can see it goes to 90 and then 180 and then back to 0. 90, 180, and then back to 0. So let's take a look at what the code for this might look like. And I want you to give it some different code in there. So to make it go to more than one position, you'll do a little pattern, which is you'll have the position servo move, you'll have it pause, and then you'll do that again. So we're going to duplicate. You can right click and duplicate a block, and you can duplicate the pause block, but you got to repeat that pattern. So it's always got to be hit a new position, pause, and then hit a new position, like 180, like that. And those are the only ones that will really work on this particular feature, 0, 90, and 180, because of where the heads are placed. So you can't mess with the angles, but you can mess with the pause blocks, and you could make it go back and forth to a couple different heads if you wanted to. But 0 is Mona Lisa, 90 is the skeleton, and 180 is Medusa. So try that out. Try to mess with the different angles here and mess with the pause blocks. It could go really quick. It could last for a really long time. And when you're ready, click share, give it a new code or a new name like creepy portrait. Click publish, copy, and paste. And when you're ready, paste that back to us in the chat. And I wonder, those of you on Facebook, did anybody on Facebook tell us what they were going to be for Halloween? I'm very curious.
We didn't get any comments from anyone on Facebook, at least none that have been relayed to me yet. But Kat is going to be Elsa from Frozen. Frozen 1.
That sounds fun, Kat. I like Elsa from Frozen. She's pretty cool. She has pretty cool powers. That's pretty great. Matt, do you have a costume that you're going to dress up as for Halloween this year?
Yes, I'm going to be a refrigerator.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I think that you're going to make a really, really good refrigerator.
Thank you.
Very nice. All right, Matt, do we have any code that has come in, that's come in on the chat?
No code quite yet, but we did get some chat. We did get a chat from Facebook. Somebody is going to be a cat for Halloween. I think that's pretty cool. Oh, and it looks like we did get one code right here. Let me go ahead and download that. It'll take just 1 moment.
I wonder, are they going to dress up as a cat or as my friend Cat? I don't know. I'm not sure. My friend Cat's pretty cool. She'd make a pretty good costume.
While I'm downloading this code, Kenji has a question for you. He's wondering what you're going to be for Halloween.
What am I going to be for Halloween? Oh, that's a good question. I think that I am going to be, I think I'm going to be a witch, because I think the hats are cool and I like to be tall. I'm already kind of tall, but I want to be even taller with a tall witch hat. So thanks for asking. All right, we have that code downloaded now, Matt?
All downloaded.
All right, fantastic. I'm going to put that back on the top here, and then I'm going to go put that back. And I think we have one more question from Matt while I do that.
That's right. If you could put another head on that portrait, one more spooky head, there are 3. If you could put a 4th spooky head on there, what would it be? Go ahead and answer us in the chat.
If you could give that portrait another head, what would you do? What are people saying, Matt?
Aviva says a zombie. Kenji says a mirror.
Ooh, very creepy.
Becky says a jack-o'-lantern. Great suggestions,
great.
Everybody.
Well, this is wonderful. I think we are ready to go through the haunted house now. So Elby, Elby? Did you guys see where he went? Elby? Oh, hi, Elby. Are you ready to go in? This is great. It looks like Elby's right there at the haunted house, and it looks like he's not scared anymore. He's ready to go in. Do you guys want to go in the haunted house? There he is. He's ready. Let's go follow him in, everybody. We'll go see our haunted house in action. Elby, that was so great. Do you want to come help me teach the rest of the class? Oh, nope, he doesn't want to come help me. Elby, do you want to go back in? Yep. All right, there he goes. Bye, Elby, have fun. I guess the thing to know is that when you understand how things work, they're just a lot less scary. So that's pretty great. Well, thank you to all of you who helped us recode that haunted house so that it was a lot less scary. Like I said, we're going to be doing this haunted house class a few more times throughout the week. So if you want to see the other times when we're going to be doing it, you can check it out at our website there. And you can also see all the other classes we have coming up too over the next few months. We just did Robot Romeo last month. This next month, we're going to be doing mini golf and memories, lots of fun classes coming up. And if you want us to do a class for just your classroom of students, we can do that too. So you can always reach out to us. This is my email, kelsey@codejoyedu.com. Thank you all so much for joining us. You guys did so great today. We will end the live stream there and we'll hang out here on Zoom if you guys have any other questions. So thanks so much.